So my retro cinephile side woke up today and you wouldn't believe what I immersed myself in. I indulged in a vintage movie marathon. Now that's not the best part. Hear this out. We somehow managed to appreciate the VR recreation of classic film scenes while doing so. Now that was something incredibly surreal, right out of our Silicon Valley dreams. Can you imagine sitting in the middle of a classic noir film, living and breathing it virtually? Whoa. The whole idea of converting our cinematic escapades into an interactive adventure was just mind-blowing to me. Remember that all-nighter cinema experience when you, me, and the gang were on a Lord of the Rings binge watch? Epic, right? Now imagine that nostalgia and camaraderie, amplified with VR technology. We are practically in the movie, living it scene by scene. It's a whole new level of experience, seriously. Nina even joked about being part of a Tron-like world during our procrastination conversation on the group chat earlier. Speaking of which, poor E. He's so swamped with work, yet we can't seem to stop messaging him, can we? Nina even dubbed him the caffeine overdose enthusiast today. Man, she's got an odd sense of humor, that one. But you got to admit, that will make an interesting superhero name, don't you think? Kindness over caffeine, right? You know what's even more intriguing? This whole VR thing got me pondering out loud in the group chat about whether we might be living in a simulation right now. Well, let's just say the responses ranged from contemplative emojis to Eric insisting on an upgrade if that was the case. The chat just erupted into laughter when I suggested starting the supposed upgrade with E's sleep schedule. Well, chatting aside, today was all about classic film scenes coming alive, and being part of that vintage charm while still in the comfort of our living rooms. Innovative thinking, along with some nostalgia, definitely made this run-of-the-mill Tuesday exciting. Imagine if we used this in real life, like AR City treasure hunts or rooftop views. Pretty mind-boggling, right? Anyway, enough about me. I always end up chattering on like a magpie. How about you? What fascinating adventures unfolded in your world today? All right then, I better stop monopolizing this conversation. We'll chat more soon, friend. Until then, enjoy your marvelous movie-rific Tuesday. I want to buzz you in on something special I kickstarted today. You know the dynamic energy of the city that we often gush about? Well, I have decided to blend it with my passion for photography. Thing is, this ain't your ordinary click-and-snap scenario, but a collaborative urban life photo project. Yep, you heard right. We're focusing on the unusual architectural corners around our city. It feels like being an urban explorer, discovering unseen facets each day. Of course, the gang is already abuzz with excitement. Nina's dying to see the shots, and E, well, he finds a way to turn any situation into comic relief. He warned me to be careful about not running into weirdos lurking in those corners. You gotta love his knack for cracking us up at any given moment. Speaking of quirks, during our chat session today, Nina mentioned seeing a guy walking a pet lizard, and one thing led to another, resulting in Eric being the new target of our prank. We're planning to place a fake lizard at E's desk someday. Sneaky, huh? Operation Stealthy Lizard is officially on. Seeing E's reaction is going to be absolutely hysterical. Now this, my friend, is what I call a mini-adventure, and it's already shaping up to be a wild ride. It's crazy how, in the chase for significant moments, we often overlook the tiny ones. Each square foot of this city has a story to tell, an unseen facet, and we're here to discover and narrate them through pictures. I've also realized that in this maze of concrete geometry, everyone has a corner that resonates with them. I wonder what that corner would be for us. Which piece of this urban jungle do you think has our story tucked within it? But you know me, always chasing aesthetic angles with bare bricks and steel bars. I'm guessing you're probably laughing and casually sipping on your latte while hearing my creative rambling, aren't you? I guess some things never change. We met each other in a programming class, and now here we are decoding life itself, one quirk at a time. Maybe it's the Buddha in me speaking, but I believe that our everyday lives could make the most captivating portraits if captured the right way. Just wish I could photograph the look on your face right now. I bet it's a mix of amusement and, There she goes on her photo file binge again. Expression. Diving right in, so today had me in a glimpse of the spotlight. You remember the whole shebang about sharing and learning from the community we had from the university days? Yeah, it was pretty much along that line today. I got a chance to conduct an insightful digital art workshop. Can you just imagine it? That too on a Tuesday. I shared my nuggets of wisdom on VR creation and personal branding, but believe me, I got more electrified with the knowledge give and take that happened. It was like a whole new level of TikTok duet, but with more learning involved. And trust me, judging by the response from the participants, I think we might have triggered the birth of new digital arts aficionados. Needless to say, our gang was beyond excited. On our group chat, Nina tried guessing what I was up to, tossing her aim for a digital art VR character I designed. Not wrong entirely, mind ya, but our dear clowny Eric tried out innovating the whole guessing game, linking it to a VR gaming victory. You can guess where all his hints were pointing, can't you? Oh, you know who was there lending me support as always? Luke, my VR mentor from our old days. I'm convinced that half of my bold move to lead the workshop today was owing to his encouragement. His visible pride in my milestone definitely added a tad bit of extra specialness to the day. As for the workshop, it did feel like a deep dive into VR without a guide initially, but once I was in, it was just an exhilarating sail. Felt like the queen of my VR kingdom, totally in charge. You need to have seen the response from the workshop. And as for Eric, you can just imagine his reaction. He was all wow and proud before we abandoned him with our sneaky lizard prank ideas. Anyway, I'm sure I've bitten your ears off by now. Guess it's my cue to wind up before you start seeing imaginary lizards around. But before I go, what's been the song etching in your brain today? Mine was the melodious overflow of Bohemian Rhapsody, echo through the hours. All right then, it's time to shut my chitter-chatter box. It's back to the creative dungeon for me.